The PYP forces you to consider your practices.
And it actually got me thinking about the whole goal of education, my whole role as a teacher. Was it to give information about the world, or was it to help them understand the world in which they live?
From the teaching perspective, there was a huge shift.
It was definitely a road of discovery, where both kids and teachers are in the learning phase together.
The PYP encourages us to have student-centered learning.
That we are not fonts of knowledge anymore as teachers.
It's not my job to make meaning for the students. It's the students' job to make meaning for themselves.
It's very much about co-constructing knowledge and building skills together, and they are the ones that make that happen.
What we are seeing now is the result of that shift in the learners. We are seeing tremendous changes in the way that they are thinking about their learning, the way that they're applying their learning in the classroom.
PYP learners are inquirers. They become knowledgeable, they can express themselves, and then they reflect on their learning.
What I do notice is that kids are more engaged in the learning.
I think the engagement comes from the focus on big ideas, the focus on larger concepts.
They may remember the information, they may not. But if they could hang on to that big conceptual idea about the world at large was going to help them to understand it.
They learn how to value the way that they learn as well as the way that other people learn.
I think it's just really fun interacting with people about what they think.
I like that there's new ideas that come in, other people's ideas can help my ideas be better.
A mí me gusta este sistema que podemos aprender de una variedad de formas, muchos idiomas y con personas que son del todo el mundo.
We always reflect on what we want to do better next term and what we think we did really well.
Because there's so much reflection that the students do, they are very articulate in describing themselves and talking about themselves as learners now.
Another skill that I have seen fostered, not just in my own child, but in the children in her class, is that sense of compassion.
That culture that sits in our students, but as the PYP coordinators can certainly talk about how much it's in our teachers as well, and how much teachers work together and build their practice by sharing what they do and critiquing with each other what they do.
It is so professionally rewarding to craft units of inquiry together, to bounce ideas off each other.
The teachers are really mentors of this. They work collaboratively and transdisciplinarily across the program.
Je sais que nous sommes des apprenants pour la vie entière, et cela me fait prendre conscience aussi que moi-même, j'apprends toute ma vie.
With the PYP framework, it's different from other curriculums in that it's not a curriculum, but an approach to teaching and learning that's transdisciplinary. It's not just looking at one subject and studying it. For example, we've just covered a unit on plants, and I think most people would think, oh, plants, that's strictly just a science-based unit. But actually, we moved that and connected from the science of plants to the study of deforestation and the impact on people, and that's where social studies comes in. The world that we live in reality, it is transdisciplinary. And I think for the children to understand that and make those connections in their learning, we're giving them a great start to the world which is complex and interconnected.
The PYP has invigorated the school in every aspect. It has invigorated parent involvement, student involvement in their learning, teacher involvement in their practice.
It had a great impact on our school community. It really has been a foundation upon which so many different kinds of teachers with different backgrounds, different cultures, different languages were able to come together.
What I like about the PYP framework is that it allows for flexibility for each school, each teacher.
It provided a best practice framework for schools to hold its own values into, and I see the PYP as an ever-changing program where it's constantly reflecting on its own practices, and you're always feeling that you're in a process. You're always moving forward with new ideas.
There's no stopping to the learning. It's a lifelong process.